What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we are going to be taking a look at a title called Railgods of Hysterra. I got an invite to the playtest this morning, and I thought that the art looked cool. I thought that the game looked cool from the trailers and whatnot I watched, so I'm pretty excited to check this one out. This is a game where you are piloting and building a train that is traveling through the Lovecraftian apocalypse, basically Snowpiercer style, and trying to keep going for as long as you can before Cthulhu or Yog-Sothoth or whoever else, the King in Yellow, ends up consuming your soul and eating your brain madness like a tasty afternoon charcuterie. The game is listed down below. It doesn't have a public demo yet, but you can get in by applying to the playtest. I think they're reviewing it, though. I didn't get in instantly when I applied. I had to wait a couple days, so give it some time. You've got Path of Exile 2 to play. You'll be all right to pass the time there for you. You'll also find links to my Discord and my Twitch stream just in case you wanted to hang out live. But let's do some first impressions of the game. Insert the game name. Well, you know how I do. Fart. Game password? I don't know. Just say that it's password. I don't know. Why do I need a password for a single-player game? I am vexed. We've got to make a character here, so let's go ahead and run through that real fast. Alright, so after a little bit of character fiddling, we've got a guy that definitely, listen, I see this guy on the street, I think to myself, this guy is ready for just about everything. He looks like every default thug from the Peaky Blinders. So I'd probably cross the street in all fairness, might be a smarter idea. We'll just name him Splattercat, and we'll give this thing a go. I've awakened, but to some compelling call that is within my mind. A call which I cannot seem to resist, no matter my will. In the months before the arrival of the Great Old Ones, the weird fiction writer H.P. Lovecraft gathered from across the globe a team of expert dreamers. Each dreamer secreted themselves from within hidden crypts and suspended in a mythical sleep by an elixir, which entered the dreamlands, there to seek solutions of the various sorcerers and scientists who exist there. Alright, so we gotta make a stone axe and we gotta destroy a barrier. I've got a backpack right there, so that's feeling pretty good. Characters moving around, looks like we have a dodge roll, so they're sort of leaning into, I guess, a Hades style of gameplay. Inside this chest, we've got a wood stick and stone, a totally normal thing to keep inside of a giant stone cask, in the middle of what looks like a vampire sleep crypt. Alright, we've gotta make something, so let's figure out how we do that. We've got the crafting menu over here. This blueprint totem is going to teach us our first couple blueprints, so let's get on into it. I would recommend like something more thematic. So it's kind of weird. We're playing a survival game right now, and this is kind of like a trope of survival games that we always go in and make like a flint axe and a flint knife first and foremost. But why are we doing that in a dream world that is inhabited by all of the denizens and creations of madness? Might want to get a little bit more on theme with that. And so now that we have that available, it looks like we can make flint. So let's hold down this to craft it. Alright, and then we can make ourselves an axe. Axe is all nice and made. It's on our belt already. Is our belt our hot slots? Our belt is indeed our hot slots. Let's get ourselves out of here. Break out of the door, and we've got satiety. If it drops to 0, our HP decreases until it's halved. Eat often. Okay, I'll do my best to keep that in mind. Is there any food or a celery plant? I don't think that's going to provide the calories that are going to be necessary in order for us to keep ourselves slaked, but I'll give it a try. Can I break that bench over there? Can I rotate the camera? Ooh, I can. Okay. I actually kind of like the perspective of this game right now. Complete your objective first? What is it? I thought I completed it all already. Alright, so let me go out now because I munchy-crunchy'd on some celery. I mean, what good is celery, though? Like, you take out celery, and I just think, like, celery's got to be with something else, dude. Like, celery is such a coattail-riding vegetable. Like, it's nothing by itself. It's like squash. It's got to be with something else. Like, we got to have ants on a log or something for it to be worth it. Alright, so we've got a mini-map. Let's do our thing. Can I break these pots? Ooh, I can. Satisfying. I love breaking pots. Breaking pots fills my heart with joy. Alright, feels like we're moving pretty slowly, and I think that's because we strafe and backpedal at a slower speed than we run forwards. Gonna have to get used to doing that, but let's check around and see what we've got going on here. We've awakened on some kind of terrifying Innsmouth shore, and we need to find ourselves tasks or something to do. This way is marked with sconces that are glowing with an eldritch light, so maybe I'll I'll give this a pass. Surprised to see humans, even if they're dead. I need to check their belongings. There are survivors of this wasted earth, half-insane humans and things far less than human, roaming seemingly aimlessly across the madness-ravaged landscape. Remember, never let her run out of food. So we've got Earthling Mush. Okay, so we've got to feed the train. Ooh, that's grim. I'll take all of it. We've got a lever that activates a mechanism. We've got bandages. We've got some cooked potatoes for us, so I'll take those on into our control. I don't think I can do anything with the bodies. Can I check these guys out or anything? It's kind of wild that we have to feed human beings to our train. That's kind of grim, bro. Oh, yeah, there's guys over here. All right, let's fight them. Impact feels okay on the attack. All right, so we've got rags. We've got human mush. And then we've got bandages over here. All right, let's travel out this way. Another one over here throwing rocks at me. Does my right click do anything like a blocker or whatever? Or is this purely kind of like... Or does this function like V Rising where you're just like, wah? You know, like you get what I'm saying? Let's put in a lever right here. That'll open up, but we got to check this other direction first. I would recommend adding a sprint to the character as well so that you can move around in traversal phases a little bit faster, because it does feel like, to me, the default movement speed is a tad bit slow. Like, it could probably be boosted up by 15% or so, and I think movement would feel a little bit more satisfying. Back through the gate. Where's our lady at, dude? I'm trying to see this rad... Can I break those? Oh, I can. I'm trying to see this rad train that consumes human flesh and madness in order to run. That's a really cool premise, dude. I don't think I've ever seen a game that has that premise, and I'm here for it. Okay. That's all right. I get the same way when I drink too many Pepsis. A rail god. She's the source of the call. Then our operation was a success. The magic of the Dreamlands allowed us to access the waking world, and the use of the Shoggoth plasm has created this titan, incomprehensible thing of the stars, a creature from beyond the rim of madness. My god, my creation is here. Master, help me. Oh, it talks. Use gift. Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. From the hideous priests of the Plateau of Lang come the secrets of the Shoggoth plasm, living masses of sentient, shape-changing flesh that can be bonded and entangled with machines in the waking world, symbiotically enmeshed with the iron and steel of great locomotives, and piloted by dreamers upon their return to Earth. The Railgods would travel the endless railways, fueled by sacrifice and arcane magic. It needs my help. I don't trust it. I've got to get inside that thing, too, which is going to be all kinds of weird considering that it talks. Like, I'm going to be inside there pulling levers and whatnot, and it's going to be like, a little more. Almost there. Yep, just a little bit to the left. Yeah, like that. Loosen your grip. Like, I'm like, I don't like this. All right, Chugga-Chugga-Chan. Let's figure out how this all works. Let's get on. Do I have to feed him from here, or can I get on board? Ooh, I get like a magic missile, too? Sick. Okay, so I don't think I fuel him from the outside or whatever. It looks like we have to go up these steps over here. I wanted to check and make sure I was interacting properly. The icon will indicate the Railgod's level of satiety. Feed her with mush using the locomotive cage in the control panel. You can resume your journey. Keep an eye on the number indicated to know how many stops you can visit with the current level of satiety. If it reaches 0, they stop at a random place and it will not be possible to resume your journey. Okay, until he's fed. All right. Let's go ahead and feed this guy some mush. So here's the control panel. And the feeder is empty. I gotta fill up like a hopper or something. Oh, dude, it's just a hatch in the floor. That's pretty gross, man. All right, throw it all in there. We've got 79 of it, so hopefully that'll be good enough. Good. All right. You still hungry, or was that enough? Oh, it only needed 48. All right, what's in the rest of... Oh, good. There's a beating heart inside the train, too. Fantastic. Inside the supply chest, I doubt we're going to need multi-stacks of bandages, so I'll just take out like 10. I would like them... Oh, there is click and drag. I feel like click and drag didn't work on a previous menu, but I guess that it does. All right, I'm just stupid. Oh, it only works from your There we go. I guess it's kind of like dodgy. That's why I felt like it didn't have click and drag. Like sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. That's just the way it goes, bubs. Way she goes, bubs. Way she goes. I'll keep the foodles on me, and that should be okay for now. There's a bunch of free stuff inside of here, so maybe this is for crafting materials or something. We've got a workbench blueprint. So we're going to find blueprints out in the world, and then we're going to have to, like, learn how to make this stuff. Okay, fair enough. Makes sense. What's back here? What do we have over in this area? So we did that quest. We went to the last flatbed and speak with the strange bird. Auk Dreamer, you have found your rail god and this is no longer a dream. You are now a god keeper symbiotically connected to your rail god. There are things you must do to help secure your carriage and deepen the symbiosis between you and your rail god. You must build up walls, and a roof. Okay, so we've got a building mode in here that we can play around with. And it looks like I need planks in order to do this. I had some in storage, but let's go on an adventure first just to keep the action happening. And then we'll figure out what we want to do after our first foray into the wilds of madness. Alright, I started out by putting in a couple of walls because the tutorial wanted me to do it super bad. We don't have the materials to get everything else done just yet, but it looks like we're actually going to have some creative options for building up our own train cars and things of that nature, so that's pretty sick. So after some tutorialization, I've built a couple of walls over here on the carriage, and I built a cooking station so that we can start purifying water and making food, and the train just told me that we have to make contact with another village. So let's turn this thing on and kind of see how it goes. It looks like on our map we've got Blackstone Bluff over here. I don't know if the train is going to stop automatically on its own, but we are off and away, so I'm guessing we kind of just want to stop with that inside this little container over here, but I don't really truly know. I'm kind of in the dark right now. These are first impressions, baby. We're doing this thing commando style. We're raw dogging it. So after a brief little jaunt, we've got the lighthouse. Let's stop the train off, pop them brakes, and let's get ourselves ready for adventure off the craft. So I've unburdened my pockets the best that I can, and let's see what's off the train inside the realm of madness. Okay, let's get on in here. I mean, there's a chest right here, nice and early. Looks like it's some refuse for farming, I guess, that we can hold on to. Okay, so my camera's orientated towards the north right now, which will make exploration easier. Let's just have a look around the neighborhood. Definitely feeling like it's probably a good idea to make the character move a little bit faster. Probably aid with the feeling of fluidity that the game is going to be searching for if it kind of wants to compete on a dungeon crawler level with other titles out there that have that super sleek, super lithe combat running for them, that very, very svelte combat. So we've got madness over here. That's going up. I mean, we ride on a train that's made out of tentacles and live inside of its bowel next to its beating heart. I'm not surprised that it's taking a little bit of toll on us. Beat his ass. I want to throw a fireball at some... Oh, it missed? What? Give me my fireball again. Where's my fireball at? I gotta hit this guy. There we go. That got him right there. That could use a better, more powerful sound effect when casting, just to kind of drive up the arcane ideas that are taking place. So grass over here. I'll grab all that. Got human mush. I'm going to need that for later just to feed the train. So it's a good thing there's a bunch of madmen and nasty guys out here, making it easy for me to recover the things I need. That guy's got a club. There's a boar over there. Got him with a range. What does this guy do? He just kind of swipe. Oh, he got me right there, I think. Yeah, that looks like my blood on the ground. All right. Well, we got his mush. Is the boar going to be like a long-term problem? Like, do I have to chase this guy down and beat his ass to death? I will if I have to. There we go. Some leather and some actual proper meat right there. Good. So I'm going to take a rough guess and say that maybe some things from the other side have been sucked into this realm along with us. Can I break that? Oh, I could. I thought that was going to be an environmental object. I didn't realize I was going to be able to break it. It looked static to me. It looked kind of static. Take the grass, because I don't know what I'm going to need it for. Crazy fisherman. Oh, if we work that jaw, my man got. Throw that over there, dodge away. Yeah, combat could feel a little bit better. As of right now, I know we're like on our first adventure, but combat feels like it could use a little bit more complexity. Impacts could probably be dialed up a little bit along with sound effects to make them feel a little better when smacking enemies. Things like stop frames, stuff that really accentuates the impact of a hit, I guess. What's up this way? Anything good? Doesn't look like there's anything lootable up there, so let's just keep carrying on this way. Well of the Abyssals. Those who gaze into this well, do you seek water to quench your thirst or treasures to fill your coffers? To savor either requires life, but to possess both leads you to death. Huh. So it's like a magic well? It doesn't look like it's got anything toggleable that I can do with it. Whoa, did we get a crit right there or something? I don't know why that hit him so hard. Good stuff. How hard's it going to be to take down a boar? He's not fighting back. That defies everything that I know about boars. Boars are a mean animal. A real mean animal. Oh, we can chop down trees, too. I didn't realize until I accidentally damaged the trees while trying to hit the boar. That's actually probably a really fortunate thing for me to realize. Okay, so we're collecting wood and sticks and things like that now. A tea plant. Collect dirty water. Oh, nice, dude. My backpack's full? Oh, that's several different flavors of bad. I don't like... Oh, we've already got 10 water. That's why it threw it on the ground. Okay. A crazy fishy man's. Alright, we'll just hit him with some magic. Ow, I've been speared. There we go. Just take him out. I don't need any more water from the well because I'm full up on water. But if there's one thing I know about human beings, it's that we've all got kind of a real cranky addiction to the stuff, so... Player is being targeted by what? Oh, was there another one over there? Let me go take care of him real fast. Alright, I got the beach cleared off, so we should be able to go in here. I already looted some of those sand piles because I figured we probably need that for glass or as a flux for, you know, blacksmithing and things. Player is still being targeted. Well, I don't see anything around here, but what's in the book? There was a light, a tremendous light atop the lighthouse, and the supreme Gnarl-hotep whispered to me, his voice curling around my mind. Beyond this bridge lies the shining trapehedron. I must reach it, that light. It still sears into my vision, beckoning, pulling, ever closer. I cannot, and I must. Okay. Well, I don't see anything around here that's hostile, so I'd like to go inside of there, but I guess we'll wait a minute till we see what else is around here. Madness is accumulating, and we do have a lot of a devil reefer. What the hell is that thing? Okay, it pukes everywhere. Gotcha. Oh, projectiles block each other. Of course, we can't have a Lovecraftian game without a deep one. I think he got me a little bit with that right there, but we'll keep... Ow, got me with that spear for sure. We may want to get rid of the guy throwing projectiles at us. Ooh, another deep one, huh? Alright, well, we got him. He's gonna blow up, isn't he? Yeah, I was gonna say. He's got that look of a Diablo mob that blows up. I think the enemies respawn, too, which is something that kind of surprised me. I went to drop stuff off back at the train. Wait, what's in my inventory? What is that? Oh, the madness is making it so that I can't identify my items. All right, so maybe we treat this like a little bit of a brief excursion. I'd love to go in the lighthouse and kind of see what's there, but I don't know if it's a good idea. We may want to go back to the train and just keep trucking. Some kind of camp over here, but it doesn't look like there's anything interactable. Let's go back to the train and let's see what retrofitting we can do with the stuff that we've brought out with us, because I've been cutting down trees and just sort of like meandering to get the stuff I need in order to build up the train a little bit. And I think our madness is starting to pile up on us anyways, so we may want to get back over there and just kind of like see how we disperse that phenomenon. I don't know if it goes away automatically when we're just cruising on the train, or if it's one of those things we need to have a special facility to fix. All right, back on board Chugga Chugga Chan. Let's see how this goes for us. So what it just told me is that I have to feed my madness to the heart of the train, which is actually kind of a cool mechanic. So I have fed some of my madness to the train, and I guess the way that their character develops and gets stronger is madness is a debuff, but it's also your XP that you feed to the train, and it gives you new abilities that change around your playstyle. And so I like the sounds of that. That sounds pretty good. The train should be mostly fed and good to go. But for now, I need to get to the back end of the train and see if there's anything that I can build that'll make my life a little bit easier. So we've got a farming station, a compost bin, we've got chests and containers, and we've got a cage for capturing monsters out in the world so that we can maybe study them or something like that. I don't really well and truly know. So it looks like I'm going to need 20 copper wire before I can properly get into building. Is this a radio station right here? Yeah, it is. So for now, I'm going to cook some potatoes and get those going. I'm going to purify some water because we've already got that cracking too, and it looks like it takes a little bit of time for it to get done. That's okay because that gives us a little opening to start making some workbenches. So I've got a log workbench right here that I could put in. Definitely want one of those. And this should allow me to plane out some logs. Yeah, it will. So we can get wedges, we can get sticks, we can get arrows, we can get planks. Okay. So make me a lot of planks. Like, I don't know, maybe like 80 of them. And then we'll get back on the road. It wants me to meet up with someone at the next lighthouse, so I'm assuming this one is not going to have the guy that since we already had the procedural generation go through and generate that map, I'm guessing that the quest target is not going to be there. So we'll kind of just like hang out for a minute and see what we get out of all this. So the village is coming up. One little visual quality of life thing I would recommend is that when you pull into these locations, there should be indicators in the background that you're entering like a village or a campsite. You should see tents or you should see houses. You should see sort of post-apocalyptic refuse out there, that sort of thing, in order to help sell the premise of the location that you're currently pulling into. I've got enough. Yeah, let's take all the boards out. And first things first, let's start putting in, they've got different styles of buildings you can build too as you get more complex with your carpentry skills, which is kind of like a nice little detail too. I need 5 strings in order to make a crafting workshop, which might give me some better weapons or something. All right, so I cleaned out my inventory. It's not letting me build more walls right now. I don't know if that's just like a weird bug. Yeah, it's not letting me put down walls right now. Normally it lights up the spots, even when I had planks in my inventory, because I know you guys are going to be like, idiot, you don't have planks in your inventory. But even when I had planks in my inventory, it wouldn't let me build any more walls for right now, so I'm not sure what's gone wrong there. But let's leave the train and let's go take a look at this city real fast. My first impressions of the game are that it has a very stark art style that drips with atmosphere. It's a really good-looking game. I very much like the very smoothed, very softly lit graphics that they've gone for with this game, and the train is kind of cool to look at as well. I do think that the principal points of conflict that they are going to have to dive into in order to get this game like off the ground and competing with other roguelikes or RPGs, survival games and stuff like that, is they need to lean into their theme a little bit more. Like, I like the stuff like feeding madness to the train and all that kind of stuff, but something about making a stone axe in a game like this is kind of like odd to me. From there, combat is going to need to feel a lot better. It's going to need to have some better impacts to it. It's going to have a little bit more complexity to it. I know that we're like really early on in the game right now, so maybe that complexity is forthcoming. But I can only comment from a first person or from a first impressions perspective that the combat feels very, very similar or very simple right now. We've got like a basic attack. We've got like a basic projectile we can throw. Hopefully that becomes more complex as time goes along and also feels a little bit better as time goes along. But for right now, I would say that this is a very promising game, simply based off the fact that it's got a really cool premise that I don't think I've ever seen or theorized before. There was that other game where you were on a train going through like an otherworldly realm that released on Epic, but that game was kind of repetitive and kind of doo-doo butter, and so it took way too long to get into the good stuff with that title. And so this game has a really solid chance, if they can get those aspects tightened up, like the combat and the movement and whatnot, to really, really undercut that game's stride and sort of gain a market share of people that like the idea of rolling through really any apocalyptic environment, Snowpiercer style, with a train while going out and harvesting and scavenging and gathering and all that kind of stuff. I like the game so far. I'll be looking forward to the 1.0. Hopefully they can get the combat to feel a little bit better by the time that we get there, add some more impact and oomph and a little bit more visceralness to it. I don't know if that's even a word. I just made it up. A little bit more oomph to it, a little bit more complexity to it with like parry systems and whatnot to add a little bit more skill to the equation. But for right now, the playtest was successful with me. I definitely like the premise and what I've seen visually while playing this game. It's got me big time hooked on this idea, but then again, Arkham Horror is one of my favorite board games of all time too, and that game's premise is basically the exact same as this game's premise. You're going out into the world to try to scavenge and harvest enough stuff before the great old one arrives so that you have like a fighting chance at fighting him off by the time he blows up the entire map board. You know, in a lot of ways, it's very much just kind of a generic crafting game set inside a really, really good premise, and I think you're going to have to weigh whether or not that's the kind of thing you want to get involved with. I love survival games like this where you pick up 50 sticks and make a new thing, and I like playing them in new environments and new settings, so it's working on me, but it may not work on the more discerning of you. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out, and that's about all I got for you, folks. Bye.